Ten seconds. Are we live? Good evening. Welcome to the Fort Scott City Commission regularly scheduled meeting for August 19, 2025. Clerk, please take the roll.
Dylan Olson,
Here.
Matthew Wells,
Here.
Tracy Dancer,
Here.
Captain Salisbury,
Here.
Tim Van Hookey.
Here, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Dancer.
We gather today with a shared purpose to serve our community of Fort Scott. We ask for wisdom and guidance in our deliberations that we may make decisions that are just and beneficial for all residents. May we be united in our efforts, even if we don't agree all the time, and may our work reflect a commitment to the common good. We seek your blessing on this meeting and on the work we do for our city. Amen.
Thank you. Okay, item 4, approval of agenda. Any questions, concerns, requested additions, changes?
I would move to approve the agenda as presented.
A second?
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Captain Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Item 5, consent agenda. Questions, comments, or concerns on the consent agenda? If there are none, is there a motion on the floor?
I would move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Captain Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Item 6, public comment. We have Lindsay Hill from Fort Scott Community College. And please make sure the little red light is on the microphone up there. Okay, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Michael.
Okay.
Yes.
I just want to take a moment tonight to address the commission and just tell our extreme thank you for originally approving the land that, I think this was at your last board meeting, the land that you had agreed to donate to the college for our frame grant. We did want to address the situation because we did send an email today to the city just telling you that we will have to regretfully decline that land. We spent some time really taking some real estate agents out there, telling us what our plan was, and seeing if we could break even or make money. And unfortunately, in that spot, they told us we would probably be losing money for what we would be putting out there. So we're going to try to go in a different direction, but we did want to come here and just thank you guys profusely for the work that you did and you put behind that, and for partnering with the college. And I did want to answer any questions in case you did have any.
I guess my question is just for any future communications, are you now the grant administrator for the university?
Yes, I am now the grant administrator for the college, since Sonia Guganani has decided to go in a different direction, yes.
Okay, and I guess my next question would be, and I guess if this comes before the commission again, asking for infrastructure assistance or anything like that, Lisa Dillon does a great job for the city, but I would appreciate if we would have a representative of the university here to confirm that this is the land that will
Absolutely.
work, that we've got.
Absolutely.
Maybe it's our assumption, but when it came before us before, we had assumed that this had been approved already as the land that would work for grant purposes by the university, and that's caused a lot of confusion.
Absolutely. We completely understand. That's why we wanted to come here and just answer any questions and just let you guys know that we are so thankful for that partnership.
Are there any other questions for Lindsay? Mr. Hoyt?
Just in light of the future tax sale that we have coming up, would you have any written specifications, wants, likes, desires that we could perhaps shop for you while we're shopping through the tax sale property?
Well, at this point in time, I think we have found the property that is going to work the best for the college. And so we're going to try to move forward in that direction. That doesn't mean we will do this again next year. So that doesn't mean that we won't be looking maybe at the same place, but maybe somewhere else next year. But we just, more importantly, we think that this is a property that we will be able to make money and then move our program forward.
So my question would be then for if you think you found the property and I understand if you don't want to divulge where it is at this time, that you'll be coming back to the city potentially to ask for assistance with
We will.
infrastructure or something similar?
Yes, we will do that.
Okay, so you'll need to be put on the agenda for that.
Correct.
I would ask the commissioners, last meeting, we took a vote and committed infrastructure services to the address at 4th and Arthur. If the university is not going to do that, I would ask that the clerk put that question back on the agenda for the next meeting. Because if they're not putting it in there, and it was the topic, the subject matter for the agenda last meeting was frame grant, which is what this is. So we'll need to decide, and if the individual that had offered that land up would like to come in and present to the commission, I don't have a problem with that, but I don't think that if they're not going to put it into that spot, that we need to be putting infrastructure in there.
We could ask the clerk to read the motion that was made, but I believe it was tied to the frame grant.
That's what Commissioner Wells, that's all I want to verify, because there was another individual that very graciously donated the land. And Bob, you can tell me, on a technicality, we kind of made a commitment to put infrastructure in, not only for the university property, but further deep in to that property.
I don't remember what all, I remember voting to do something, but I don't know what it was tied to.
Well, if we put it back on the
Well, we can
agenda,
amend the agenda tonight and rescind it.
what's that?
We can amend the agenda right now and rescind it.
Send it, yes, you
Yeah, no, that's fine. Usually we don't do that during public comments, but,
I'm just saying in general, you don't have to wait a week
yeah.
if it's that.
Well, would anyone like to make a motion?
I'd make a motion that we revisit the city's commitment to providing infrastructure development
For the
for
frame
the frame grant under item 9, new business, item D, or item E.
Seconded,
Dylan Olson,
yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
Lindsay, thank you.
Yeah, Lindsay,
I know.
we did
I
get
also
this-
want to apologize because I know we did play a part in this, so we want to apologize, but we do want to thank you guys so much for helping with this.
Yeah, I still think it's an exciting opportunity.
Yes,
The-
we're still bringing housing to Fort Scott, which is
Well,
exciting.
Even more so to me than that is educating
Right.
people how to, the trades.
Trades,
So that we have more resources available here as well.
absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, appearances. Rachel Carpenter to give us a tourism report.
Hello. I am going to speak over here so you guys can see me. Okay.
We can get something for you to stand on.
I know, we probably need it. Let me make sure this is working. Okay, it is. Yay. Okay. So, hi. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to give an update on tourism initiatives for the city of Fort Scott. It has been really fun to take over these initiatives. I have been doing it since May, so give me a little bit of grace. I'm still learning and building relationships, but our main focus right now for tourism is focusing on history and culture, outdoor recreation, a relaxing getaway, and events. My strategy is relationship development, so that's developing relationships with our downtown businesses, with our attractions throughout even the county. So I've been meeting with the Fort, Little Milken, Gordon Parks, Kansas Rocks, just building those relationships, seeing what their tourism needs are. And then also regionally, I've been connecting with other tourism directors in sector, Southeast Kansas Coalition for Tourism. And then Kansas statewide tourism, seeing what their strategies are and how we can align with them and any opportunities they have for us. Bus tours is also part of the strategy. So this year we have had 8 different tours come through Fort Scott, and an estimated impact based on the state average of spending. We had about $14,800 for that. So they do about $74 per person on the bus tours in spending. I would like to see those numbers go up, so I've been working with the Chamber and Little Milken Center to reach out to those bus touring companies. I asked the state for a list of leads, so hopefully we can see those numbers go up. Events, city-sponsored events that we put on, and also partnering with other organizations in event coordination, how we can collaborate and get more people coming to the events. Attraction development is really important to tourism, with the Mid-American League, going after those opportunities to develop new attractions here in Fort Scott. So we have downtown revitalization, helping the museums, getting new museums, that sort of thing. So any of those opportunities I have been trying to be a part of. Marketing, so we have our online presence. We have social media. Right now we have Facebook and Instagram. I would like to expand those to different accounts. TikTok, LinkedIn is kind of on my strategy. Just a side note, my husband was on TikTok and he booked a full weekend getaway off of TikTok. So if we can get on there and appease to that generation too. And then we did get an updated Visit Fort Scott site. Cumulus did it for us for free. And I don't think this link works, or else I would pull it up. But it looks really great, and I'm continuing updating it. And Cumulus, through radio ads and TV ads and their social media, is kind of our distribution channels to Kansas City and that area, as well as Sedgwick County and a couple other areas that are more than 2.5, 4 hours away. And then printed material, I do the flyers for the events. I'm working with the Chamber to produce a downtown map that's more user-friendly, that we can put on the bus tours and distribute widely. And then we're into magazine. So earlier this year, we got onto Kansas City Chiefs yearbook and the Royals yearbook. We're in the Kansas magazine, True West, and then I'm hoping to get into the Visit KC travel guide for next year. radio, I talked about Cumulus, so those channels, and then we also partnered with our local radio station this year that also reaches out to the Kansas City area. So this slide shows the completed initiatives that I have been a part of since May. We were able to get the Love Kansas grant, and as part of that, we got to contract with a videographer, and he helped us produce some videos. So I am going to play this video. It's just like an overview of Fort Scott. Hopefully it works.
I love the people. I love the ones that work together and make every day a better place than it was when they got up in the morning.
I have lived in Fort Scott for 55 years, born and raised. Fort Scott is home. Fort Scott's always been home. Fort Scott is family friendly.
I love Fort Scott's community. The people that are here have been they've welcomed us with open arms. Being from Kansas City, coming in, not knowing anyone, and there's been so many people that they just welcome us with open arms.
Well, I grew up here in Fort Scott. It's a great place to raise a family. I raised my family here. It has some of the unique, rich, vast history here in Fort Scott.
This community runs and operates like a community 3 times its size. It's a little gym that people want to have the discovery of something, and this is one of those things where this is a place people should want to discover.
That is what I love about Fort Scott. I do. I love the small community. I love the people here. I like the way that people treat each other here. Just a willingness to help people out. It's unlike any other place that I've been. I grew up in a big city. I grew up in Detroit, and it's totally different.
There's an opportunity that businesses don't look at that they should, being centrally located in the United States, being on a main thoroughfare of 69 and 54 highways for sending product back out all over the country.
There's a great opportunity for housing here. People like to live in a small town. People like to raise families in an area that's less chaotic, an area where people are friendly, they know your name, they wave at you, they care about you.
So I hear that comment that there's nothing to do here in Fort Scott a lot. For those people that are saying that, they're just not looking for something to do. In fact, sometimes we have more things going on and things that they conflict, and so you end up with not as many people as you would have had because somebody else has got something going on as well.
If you love history, if you love learning and exploring, come to Fort Scott.
Fort Scott's in the center of everywhere. We're halfway between Kansas City and Tulsa. We're halfway between Wichita and Springfield. It's just such a neat, laid-back, easy place to be. You know your neighbors.
I would describe Fort Scott as a town that has a lot of new things happening with a lot of history behind it.
So yeah, that's just a quick video. We're gonna distribute it through Cumulus, social media, that sort of thing. My videographer is gonna break it into 30-second sections too, for developers, housing, and business. He is also working with some attractions in Fort Scott to put together promos. So one he's completed or almost complete is a promo for the Gordon Park celebration this year. And he wants to do one for Christmas on the Bricks. So really developing that content and that I can disperse. So some of the completed initiatives, I won't go through everything, but I've been going on site visits, visiting other towns that have similar markets, seeing what their strategies are for marketing and their connections. And then a lot of event planning, relationship building, and the Signs Grant. I applied and received the Signs Grant to help a few businesses in town upgrade their signs in downtown. So lots of fun things that I'm really enjoying doing. So some of my goals for the rest of the year is, that's small print, but continuing with we have a couple more city sponsored events, partnering with other organizations. I just went to an event with Kansas Rocks, and they actually got me on the trails in a Jeep, and it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. Just helping promote that. Social media accounts, I would like to do some more content development, get more people engaged on our social medias. Wichita is hosting the TBEX conference. It's usually hosted in different countries, so like South America, Europe is the next one, I think. But they are bringing 250 influencers to Wichita, and the state is going to take them on smaller trips throughout the state. So we get to host 2 influencer groups. A total of 10 of them will come through Fort Scott in October. So we've been working with the chamber to develop a curated itinerary for them to have a highlight reel of Fort Scott. And so, Visit KC, that is on market. So I have been developing a partnership with Visit KC, which is kind of like their tourism organization there. I'm working on applying for a grant through the state for marketing, specifically to market Fort Scott during the World Cup as a day trip while the visitors are here. And then there's some other magazines that we are in. And then we're working with FSCC on a big tourism initiative coming December. So that's what I have. Any questions? Comments, concerns?
So I was just wondering about the print material that you said, that was before you, right? In the Chiefs and Royals magazines?
That was, I designed those. So yeah, I designed those like right when I was transitioning back to work, so.
I was gonna ask if you were gonna have an opportunity to redo them, but because I thought they were before you, but never mind then.
Okay.
Could you, 30 to 60 seconds, talk about Placer?
Yes.
This is our
Oh,
newest
yes.
thing.
Placer is our next thing. We were able to get Placer. It's a data tool to understand where people are coming from. So say there's a lot of people coming from Nebraska, I can now create a marketing strategy to target those people and expand that market and bring them here. A lot of the downtown businesses have been asking for a tool like this, so we will be able to partner with them, see what is attracting people, and really go after that, so.
Just a couple things. Signage. Is there any northbound signage for Fort Scott or the Fort Scott National Historic Site if you're coming from Pitt? I only ask, I've looked, I haven't seen it. I know I see it on the way down from.
I don't know about coming into the city.
Yeah,
There's signage
coming southbound from
exits.
KC, you see it.
There's signage for exits, but it's not something you're gonna see a
Okay.
mile out.
Unfortunately, unless it's a billboard that the city would put up, all of the signage is KDOT related.
Okay.
And so
Probably
you have to.
come from the fort too.
And
Is
yeah,
there-
we're currently, or the Ford is currently trying to get additional signage and trying to get the arrowhead posted somewhere.
I was going to ask about that.
KDOT.
Okay.
KDOT is reluctant at this point to allow the arrowhead to be put on the signage where it currently is located. So it's a process, and I believe the Ford is diligently working towards that end, but.
Yeah, I saw the eastbound, westbound, National Park Historic, or National Historic Site signs, the little brown ones on the side of the road.
Yeah,
But they don't
yeah,
have
I
the
went-
little arrowhead. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, I went down that rabbit hole with KDOT. It's not a
Is it
fun
a-
rabbit hole.
KDOT issue or a
Yes.
National
Yeah.
Park Service?
No, it is.
It's a KDOT.
Okay. Okay. And, okay.
The only thing I would say is I would love to see, I know we redid that sign coming in from Kansas City area. I live here and I can't even convey really what that thing's trying to say. It would be nice to have that remessaged, redone, since it is a billboard.
We're gonna work on that in 2026.
Yeah.
When the new budget comes.
When the old one was there, it had a few pictures emblazoned in it, and it said 5.5 miles, but I mean, it's the replacement on it, while it is much cleaner than it was, and we got the trees cut down, I would like to see better branding and messaging on that board.
Okay.
You said you were going to some conferences this year to help promote the tourism?
Yeah, so the TBEX conference in Wichita, and then I also, Kansas Rocks wanted me to go out to Jeep Jam in Eureka Springs, see how that event is coordinated and see if we can bring that down, but.
You might get with Kirk. There's an African-American tourism conference that goes on every year. I think this year it's in Hutch, but check with him. That might be another avenue to garner people who would really like to come and learn more about Gordon Parks and about the First Kansas.
Okay.
And I was just going to ask, you mentioned that you work with the chamber like 2 or 3 times. Are you working closely with them? Are they, what kind of partnership do we have with them? And do they provide feedback to us? Do we to them?
Yeah, so I attend their board meetings as a non-voting member. I'm part of their event planning committee. And then we worked together on like the downtown map. And then, yeah, bus tours, developing an itinerary. So yeah, we work pretty well together with the chamber.
Okay.
Much improved.
Yes.
Okay. And Brad, I think we used to have a tourism advisory board. Did that go away, or?
No, it hadn't been for about 2 years, at least 3 years.
Been closer to 3.
Yeah, been
Okay.
3 years.
I mean, did it just disband on its own, or?
I think it was voted away. I'm not exact, it was before me.
Okay.
But I'm really enjoying this organic approach with relationship building and tourism, meeting one-on-one, as opposed to meetings.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I mean, I know you do an amazing job. You've got so many jobs. And I just wanted to know if people thought there would be a benefit to forming a tourism advisory board so that, local businesses, especially, hoteliers, and hoteliers and retailers can provide feedback to the city and or the chamber on, things, activities, ideas that could maybe help bring some more of that external money into town.
Well, the big thing is Rachel goes and talks to people.
Oh, I know.
She goes and talks to them a lot. She goes to every chamber coffee. And if anybody has an idea, the door's open.
Yeah.
And they can always come over here, talk to us, or call us, and we'll come see you.
I'm happy to meet with you separately as well and give you some history on the old tourism board.
Okay.
So that, but no, and we've done a very good job as a staff, and Rachel has led it. She's led the charge. 2026 is going to be even better. The videos, that video that guy did, I mean, it was tremendous.
The
That
website
goes-
itself looks very much improved.
What's that?
Yeah,
The website, the Visit Fort Scott
We
website
wanted to
is
put our own little brand on there. So,
It's looking good.
we've done a lot of good
Thank you.
things with it, so.
And I will
Keep
say,
working at it.
having had attended a lot of the events that the cities, I mean, I'm in every single one of them. They're fantastic. The crowds are there even when it's hot. And so hats off to you and city staff for organizing those.
Thank you.
Like I said, even on the hottest nights, people know that they're going to have a good time, a safe place they can bring their kids. They can get something cold to drink, not just alcohol, but I mean lemonade or whatever. And they're a great time.
Thank you.
Jessica's not here now, but she just said that every time she turns the TV on, her streaming device up in Kansas City, Fort Scott comes on. So that's pretty, plus I've got classmates up in Kansas City that's said the same thing. So that's
Classmates, how young are people you hanging out with?
Well, they're in retirement villages.
Any other questions for Rachel?
No.
Comments?
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
Okay, item 2, under section 7, Thomas Metcalf Jr., Third Annual Sons of American Legion Car Show, August 30th, 2025. Request for temporary street closure, National Avenue between Oak Street and Pine Street.
Yes, sir. Sorry. This will be our third year putting it on. I would like to say, I can talk about Rachel a little bit. She's actually partnered with us. We came to Brad. He actually mentioned it last year about trying to partner with us to make our car show bigger. So they've been helping out. Rachel's done an amazing job helping out with flyers and just putting it out there. We've got our trophies. We're gaining momentum. My only problem is I hope we have enough parking space.
That's good. That's a good
Yeah,
problem.
that's a
We'll
good
make it.
thing. But we've pretty well got everything figured out how we want to do it. We're just going to park the cars on National. Talk to Brad. I believe you said that you had a band lined up. It'll be from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. So we're going to have, kids at the splash pad because we have 3 classes. We have cars and trucks, motorcycles, and we have a kids class. It's just, as long as they don't have a driver's license, they can bring it and show it off. They don't have to pay to get in. The car show's $10 per vehicle. Kids are free. They get trophies. There's cash prizes even for the kids. I believe Brad, and we were on board with it, he wanted to make it about drug awareness for kids. So, and with being the Sons of American Legion, that's kind of what we're all about, is youth in the community. So I was just wondering, hopefully we can get the road closed, but I don't know where we'll put extra vehicles if we run out of room. I'll have to get with Brad on that.
Yep. In addition to this street, I would recommend closing off the street. It'd be north of H&H. I'm not exactly sure, Matthew, what's that street? You know all the streets?
Old
Is
Fort
that Old
Boulevard?
Fort Boulevard?
Yep.
Just that, to the alley.
Okay.
That way, people's gonna be in the pavilion. I wouldn't want people coming in. So just block that entrance off right there and they can come.
So block it from National, essentially going up to where you can turn off from Main Street, kind of, or just to the alley?
Just to the alley.
Okay.
Well, that's usually closed off for pavilion nights anyway.
No, we don't normally do it unless it's really
Sometimes
crowded,
there
but
are
we
cones
should.
there.
We
Yeah.
should do that. That's a safer idea to do that. We should.
Any other questions? Is there a motion?
I would motion that we close the recommended streets, including the not written on there, Fort Scott Boulevard, from National to the alleyway.
I second.
Just one more thing before the vote there. It says you don't have barricades, but you'll work with Brad to get.
Yes,
the
that's
barricades.
what we were hoping for. In the past, they've
Okay.
been gracious to loan us cones.
Yep.
Captain Salisbury?
Yes.
Tim Van Hickey?
Yes.
Dylan Olson?
Yes.
Matthew Wells?
Yes.
Tracy Dancer?
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Looking
Thank you.
forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Hey, when
Item,
are y'all starting up bingo again? I've had people asking me about that. Did y'all take a break from bingo?
No,
You're still doing it every Thursday? Okay.
This Thursday, we're also having Taco Burger.
Oh, my God.
Taco
You
Tico.
gotta say that. for.
That gum, you'll get some people on that.
Doors open at 6.
All right.
You don't have to play, we've had people come in off the street by
My golly.
Thank you, gentlemen.
all right, item 8, unfinished business, public hearing. Planning Commission case number 1052, conditional use permit, 2400 South Main Amazon Storage Unit, recommended by the Planning Commission on July 9, 2025, tabled from August 5th, 2025.
I motion that we open the public hearing.
Second.
Matthew Wells?
Yes.
Tracy Dancer?
Yes.
Captain Salisbury?
Yes.
Tim Van Hickey?
Yes.
Dylan Olson?
Yes.
It's my understanding that we do have representatives from the Amazon storage units on the speakerphone here, and I'd let them open up with what they want to present, and then we can ask questions, as well as anyone in the public after that can feel free to stand up and address any questions or concerns. So you can hear us okay?
Yes, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Did you have anything you'd like to open with, or do you want us to just move on into the public hearing portion?
Nathan, would you have anything you would like to open with on the Amazon side?
Sure. Assuming you guys can hear me, this is Nathan Eady with Amazon Economic Development Team. Thank you for your consideration. In short, our Amazon storage unit project is just a part of a relatively new program. Here at Amazon, we're trying to deploy some board facilities that allow us to improve overall customer delivery service in rural or small towns throughout the United States. And we're pleased to propose one here in Fort Scott. We watched the hearing from 2 weeks ago, including all of Ms. French's great comments that she provided. And it was very helpful for us. We went back and worked with our program teams to confirm everything that she had asked about, which is essentially for anyone in this community that's already operating a hub partnership program for us, they will continue to receive all of the packages that they've historically gotten through that program. This ASU is simply going to extend our ability to deliver to new zip codes that aren't being serviced by Amazon right now. So it should be a net win for everybody. By pushing more packages to those zip codes, we both will try to provide our kind of Amazon level of customer service to those residences and businesses that aren't getting deliveries from us today. And then, of course, the ASU is reliant on additional flex drivers, and so the greater volume of packages sent to this region is going to require at least some net increase in flex drivers as well to support us. So there should be an incremental increase in overall employment and revenue passing through the community. So that's it. I'm here to answer any other questions that the commission has, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions from commissioners?
Not right now.
No.
I have a couple questions. I want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. You're saying that our flex drivers like Rachel French, they would continue to receive the packages that they've been receiving at the same volume in the same way at their homes. They wouldn't need to go to this unit. This unit is for places that you're not currently servicing. Is that correct?
That is correct. So packages will continue to go to our hub partners just like they have for the last few years. For the ASU, we'll send a box truck out there that will unload packages directly into the ASU unit, and then flex drivers that accept those package routes, they will drive to the ASU, pick up the packages, and then go drive home.
Okay, and so volume-wise, I'm trying to picture this. There's one entrance from Highway 69 into this parking lot where it's proposed to be put. How many trucks of what kind of size are you anticipating would be bringing the packages in from Amazon?
Sure, it's typically 1 to 2 box trucks per day.
Okay.
I think initially for this facility, it would most likely just be 1 truck each morning. A box truck is, similar to say like a U-Haul that you would use to move some furniture around, so much smaller than a full-size semi-truck trailer. And then a number of flex drivers just depends on essentially how many routes each individual flex driver commits to.
Okay.
I think we have like several hundred packages passing through this, so you'd be looking at a flow of flex drivers that I doubt would ever exceed more than a couple per hour. So
Okay.
it's not a huge generator of traffic.
Okay. And I guess I just wasn't aware that you weren't already servicing everywhere. Could you tell me like some locations that you would be adding when you add this service?
I would have to look that up. So basically we divide it up by zip code.
no.
Fort Scott well enough to be able to
No, that's,
translate zip codes directly to.
no, that's completely reasonable.
But if you don't mind, one point of clarification. So it will not affect any of the current zip codes. It will only deal with new zip code areas that are going to be created for Amazon to deliver to.
That is correct. So we know from our end what zip codes are already being serviced by the hub partners, and we are simply going to basically extend services to new zip codes that nobody's delivering to right now, or that if any of our customers are getting packages today, they are being delivered by a third party like the U.S. Postal Service or FedEx.
So we don't go to Uniontown or Redfield currently. Like we go almost to.
Come up to the microphone, please.
Hi, everybody. It's Rachel French. I just think maybe I might be able to kind of help you understand how it currently goes. So we don't go to Redfield. We don't go to Uniontown. We stop basically where that next township goes. So we do have a lot of rural, like one of my routes is completely rural, and we go as far as like the Redfield city limit, but we don't deliver there. So perhaps they're going to take over Uniontown, Redfield, Mapleton, those areas, maybe.
Okay. Any other questions for the Amazon folks? Any other questions from public? Commissioners?
So essentially, at the end of the day, you're just wanting to have a centralized deposit place for your packages to expand flex deliveries, not downsize, not shrink, not eliminate jobs.
Did we able to hear that question online, on the phone?
Yeah, I think I heard the question. I just wasn't sure if it addressed to us, but yes, essentially we're always experimenting and innovating with especially new ways to extend our network deeper into to rural America. We've spent the last 4 years developing an extensive network of it's got to be close to 1,000 facilities that provide really good coverage over large metropolitan areas. Our next big step over the next couple of years is how do we really push that level of customer satisfaction and delivery to every part of the U.S. as we can.
Any other questions? Nothing from the public? All right. Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
A motion, we close the public hearing for the Planning Commission case number 1052.
Second.
Yes.
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 Yes. I had some consideration on this last time, and just my opinion is, and again, it's only my opinion. I mean, I appreciate people's jobs that they have in town and all, but when we have other people that want to come into this town and set up some type of a business, in my feeling only, and you can agree or disagree, it's a slippery slope when we start picking and choosing winners and losers. We have a wonderful donut shop in town, but what if Dunkin' Donuts wants to come in town and open a donut shop? Are we going to tell them, no, we've already got one? And this is no different. So I was a little bit concerned. The real reason I wanted to retable this was to actually get somebody from Amazon to make sure everybody's questions were answered. But, I mean, we want to attract new people in here, and it is tough because you love the people in your town and what they have, but
I understand.
but I was concerned last week that, I'm glad we tabled it, that we were getting close to picking winners and losers.
Yeah, and I was guilty of that as well last time, and after careful reflection, and some comments from the citizens, I had to reconsider my position on that. We don't want to be in the business of telling, business ventures, large or small, how they can, how they can conduct business in our city. We don't want to stymie development, streamlining. We've entered the era of AI. Microsoft slashed 30% of their positions in favor of AI. Everyone is tightening their belt. Everyone is looking at, hey, how can I streamline our operations to make it more efficient so that A, I don't get eliminated, and B, the company still makes money and can continue employing me. So these are considerations we have to consider.
No, I agree. I was, as last time, my thoughts were definitely in the realm of regulating competition, and that's not our function. So tonight, I wanted to understand more the traffic considerations for safety on 69, but it sounds like with just 2 trucks coming in, that's not the concern, and it also doesn't sound like it would be enough to be a conflict with like anyone else using the parking lot. So those were my concerns tonight, and I feel they've been addressed.
And regarding AI, it's been here 3 months. Bob's been AI for the last 3 months. Okay, is there a motion on the floor?
Well, we will need to make sure that we specify the conditional use permit is being approved, because that's what we're
Yes.
approving. Okay.
So if we were to say, I move that we approve,
I would move that we approve the conditional use permit for the Amazon storage unit,
recommended by the Planning Commission on July 9th.
recommended by the Planning Commission.
I would second that.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Folks on the phone, thank you for your investment in our city, and we're sorry we had to delay this a week.
Not a problem. We appreciate your time and attention. Yeah, thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too.
Yeah, thank you for all of your considerations and the time you put into this.
Okay, thank you. Turn this off.
Just off. There you go.
Okay. Item B, under unfinished business, public hearing, vacation of alley, Louis Neiheiser, revisit requested by City Commission. Would anyone like to open the public hearing?
I would motion that we open the public hearing.
All right.
We have a second.
Yeah, I'll second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
Good evening, Louis.
Good evening. We've submitted the paperwork to kind of clarify a little more of the location. I think last time it said street. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knows this is an undeveloped alley south of 6th, east of Garrison, and north of Charles. And I think last time we talked about how some of you felt that you didn't want to give up property for nothing, and I understand that. We have checked precedent. There is precedent for what I want to propose, which is, if you've seen the flyer, is I would offer to give you an easement for the sewer pump that's installed on my property in the gate that they don't have an easement for in exchange for abandonment of, undeveloped alley.
Any questions or comments to the proposal?
Anybody from the community?
Anyone in the public have comments, objections, concerns? All right. No questions from Mr. Neiheiser?
No. One of my, of course, 2 things that I had originally. One was that the listing was incorrect. It was saying for us to vacate Goodlander Street instead of that alley. My second contention has always and will always be, I don't believe that the city should ever give up land. That is my stance and has been, and I'm going to stand by that. In this instance, the willingness to trade land makes a big difference. I would still prefer us to do some kind of 299-year lease, giving him the property. But that is my personal feelings on the matter and always has been.
Anything else?
I
Anything-
would say the same thing I said before. I hold nothing personally against you. It's just, if we do this for you, we should do this for everyone whose structure is already built on a non-existing street or alley.
Well,
Which,
and one
in this
thing-
very photo, you can actually see two of them.
Oh,
So-
yeah, there are more, there's a lot more there.
So-
And again, I'm not asking you to give something up for nothing.
No, that's,
I completely understand.
no, I completely agree. I mean, the city put a lift station on your,
Put a gate up with a lock
yeah.
and a power pole that according to Evergy, I could.
southeast corner of your land with no easement.
Yeah.
And you're just asking that, hey, we trade the easement.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, no fee. You're not asking us to give up land, just trade.
Yep.
And I think we have already set a precedent for trading lots. At this point, correct me if I'm wrong, Bob, but if we just say we're never going to pave an alley there, he owns the entire block, and you have no designs to put in an alley there.
No, as a matter of fact, for those of you who've been out the property, on the north side, which is kind of unusual for Fort Scott, there's a large ravine. For there even to be an alley, there would have to be a bridge in that area.
Right.
The same way with the road that's on the east, that's there, that's never been developed. I'm sure that it was never ever developed because there would have to be a bridge constructed in there to even pass through that area.
And you're going to build a house there. That's your design.
That's my desire.
Okay.
Now, hopefully you'll pay taxes on it too.
Well, if I don't, then it won't be a problem because you'll get it back.
Oh, there you go. Well, make sure it's a nice house.
Okay.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Anything else from the public? Is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I would motion that we close the public hearing.
Second.
Captain Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes. All right. So we have a lot of things like this left over from previous commissions and administrations and policies. Mr. Niehiser is trying to build his forever home, trying to, come back to Fort Scott, his home.
I actually
And-
made the paper back in the 70s, front page.
So,
What'd they arrest you for?
I was actually administrator for the boys' home on National.
Oh, yeah.
so
Worked there until 1980.
So I, on the one hand, I understand the idea of not giving away city land, the idea that we'd, give away a lot downtown or anywhere, unless it's in the land bank. That irks me. But the idea that we would make an attempt to correct the record, that doesn't irk me at all. And in this case, we clearly have we've encroached on your land, and you've not made a fuss of it, and you are just asking to settle the score,
Yes.
and that's something I can get behind. So with that, I would make a motion to approve vacating or abandoning the alley in question as a trade for the easement that we did not give you for the lift station.
I second.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
No.
Matthew Wells.
I'm very happy that you're coming back to the community, but I have to stay consistent, so please understand, nothing
No,
against you.
That doesn't happen.
Okay.
Not a problem.
All right, no.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
Forget to send out the
Thank
big
you, Lewis.
housewarming party.
When do you break ground?
Well, the next thing is to come to the city and do permits, so. All
right.
We'll go from there.
I do congratulate you, but I feel bad for this commission now.
All right, well, thank you so much for your time, everybody, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We need a
Before we
a
move on,
deed or
can we,
something to do that, an ordinance.
Say again, over?
If you,
I'm trying to understand, because I felt that was equitable, and we had done that before as a trade. So I'm trying to understand, because I still feel bad
I
about the
have,
lady who had the house.
I would like to see the example where a whole alley was abated.
well, my opinion on it, to be honest with you, they are handled on a case-by-case basis, and there's a process in place.
I imagine there's going to be plenty of cases.
Yeah, there's a process in place, period. And if we're not going to have a process where someone can come and petition, then why don't we do an ordinance that says never, ever, ever, under any circumstances will the city commission give away a 12-inch square piece of land to anybody?
It's that bag that we got when we first signed up for this gig.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I understand completely. I mean,
So,
my
it's a
fix is that we have the counselor draw up a lease document, and when these situations come, we lease it to the people for
I don't know,
$299.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
that
know how
would-
they would do their insurance and their homeowner.
Yeah, in this case, I mean,
Or get a building loan.
I don't know how they would do that. I mean, it's worth a shot.
I know in a lot of other cities, that's what they do. In a lot of other places, businesses do that all the time. They lease the land to the person then go gets a loan, and they build
But-
it on
Well,
that
we-
piece.
we
The
didn't-
purpose of his alley,
I'm-
to build on the alley is in the center. That's where the was. But if he's giving you the back say back third in return for the middle third, what's the argument there? Because there's absolutely no utilities going there. He's already said the utilities are going in the front. There's a road coming in the front. So
Right.
what is the argument? I totally agree with both of you. Don't give.
Right. No, the argument for me is twofold. One, there are hundreds
Oh, there's
of
every land.
buildings, garages, things out at the lake, whole houses built on Fort Scott city land. Alleyways, streets, easements. There's fences built on easements on
In
public
this very
property
image, you
and
have a whole
alleys.
house on an undeveloped street to the west.
So,
But that's the
Do we-
bag you were given.
Yeah.
Now you're able to fix that by splitting that property in thirds, taking the
Okay,
back
but where
third.
where does-
Take the back third of that land, and if we ever do want to put a street, we have the third. Instead, if you don't give it up, you have no tax-paying money, because he.
I completely understand your argument.
Go ahead.
I don't agree with that logic at all, because if he wants to build a house, he has a whole block of property to build a house. You don't have
half
to
a
be.
block, because it's got an alley.
Not every block in this city has an alley. My block has an alley. No one utilizes the alley, no one
We don't
lives
have an
on the alley.
Well, no,
I don't
the
have the
alley's
alley.
The alley's there for utility access.
No,
Whether
there's no
that's-
alley.
Well, no, it's plotted.
Every property has an
Yeah.
alley.
You're comparing.
That's why the sewer is so
There's a
weird
sewer main
down your
on our
alley, because
property,
the
and
alley
there's no
jerks.
easement. I mean, that's a.
But I'm sorry to say, if he
point
built
of
that
contention
house
for me
over a sewer line, or a water line, or gas line, we have rights to go get it.
Yeah, and that has happened down at the end of,
But there is
I
no.
think it's 11th Street. Somebody built a house out over the sewer line, so now, when we went in to fix that sewer, we had to completely reroute that sewer around their house, because they built over the alley and in the easement. It opens a Pandora's box out at the lake and at all these other locations where people who have built on this land can now say, oh, well, you gave this guy the land for free, we should get this land for free.
Look, I don't care about precedent myself. I don't care if he builds there or not, because it's already done. What I care about is every person that comes up here now being treated the same way.
And
So
it's
there's
hard
no
not to
reason-
evaluate what we're given.
Right, that's part of the.
That's why there's a process. There may be some that come in and that says, actually, yeah, the utilities run right down the middle of that, and no, that's no good. But I mean, this guy's made a commitment and bought an entire city block.
That was a personal choice prior to it.
I guess, I mean, isn't abandoning the alley equitable to the easement that we already took? Like, that's why I thought this was.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I guess I'm not seeing why that's not
Well,
an equitable trade.
you're saying
I
we
mean,
took
we
an
weren't
easement, but that's
providing him a
questionable.
299-year lease.
It's questionable if it was, but
But in like.
GIS
Because like,
image isn't
I know when
accurate.
the one young woman was here a few months ago that had purchased the house that had been built 100 years ago and was, not in exactly the right spot, and they wanted us to.
Well, the
plant
original
the
house
huge-
was built in the right spot, and even the second edition was built in the right spot. It was the third edition on that house that somebody built into the.
And then they wanted us to
Yep.
to give up a really large section of the land. And then we said we'd do it in trade. We said we would trade, but she needed to pay for the survey. And that was the sticking point. So I guess I'm trying to understand, this sounds like I'm arguing, but I'm really trying to understand. What is different in us agreeing that we would do that trade and not this trade? What is the difference?
Well, the difference to me is, so you have roads, streets, and you have alleys. Well, they're developed or underdeveloped. So if you look at the west here, you have an undeveloped street with an actual house in the middle of it. An alley, undeveloped alley, is generally just utility access. Right now, you got crawl can, gas lines, whatever they go
But there's
down.
nothing there right now.
You can't take what you're looking at.
We
Look
can.
at- look
We
at
can
a different-
absolutely go out and walk the land, right, and see that there's nothing there but trees.
There's nothing there. Go find an alley where there is something.
That's not relevant to this situation.
It is relevant.
Point of order. I mean, the item was voted on in past discussion. I feel like, we've kind of, I think everyone's aware of everyone else's opinion. I'd like to move on with the rest of the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor.
Please.
Fine with that?
Thank you. And I do appreciate everyone's opinion both ways, sincerely. It's good discussion, but I think we could probably be going for another 30 or 40 minutes on it if we don't move on.
And probably still not revolved.
If we want to have a work session to discuss it,
Oh, no.
I think we should start evaluating every alley and street in the town.
why not? We're king of the work sessions.
Set it right for once all.
Okay, so action items. Consideration of appointment of one member for Fort Scott Historic Preservation Committee, table from August 5th, Lisa Dillon.
Good evening, Commissioners. This is just a continuation of what we had done for the Fort Scott Historic Preservation Resource Commission, and there are 2 additional resumes for you to review
Yes, thank
in order
you.
to make a decision.
Okay. Hey, I just have a comment about this, and Mayor, correct me if I'm wrong. But when we reviewed the candidates who submitted, whatever they submitted for this Historic Preservation Resource Commission, 2 of the candidates who got confirmed did not complete the application. 3 of the candidates confirmed did not submit resumes.
No, I think we had.
No, I went back and looked.
Okay.
3 of them did not submit resumes. 2 of the candidates confirmed did not serve on the design review board. But 1 of the candidates confirmed does not live in the city limits. Now, when we put it out, we published an application, a notification, and said, hey, if you want to serve on the Historic Preservation Resource Commission, fill out this application. There was no mention of a requirement to submit a letter of interest or a resume.
Okay,
There was a requirement to live within the city limits.
Where the requirement for the resume comes from, and the reason I didn't sign the original letter going forward, and Ms. Dillon can correct me if I'm wrong, but it states when it goes to the state, you are to have the member's
Documentation,
resume.
that is all it states.
No, it says resume.
No, it does not.
It says that you can have a combination of application or resume.
It does not require resumes. That was something you asked for, and this commission did not vote on.
So
Okay.
it is,
My signature's going on there. I read resume. And you're right, there wasn't a vote on it.
Right.
But
And it
the-
wasn't
the
a requirement,
CLG as
because
a
like I
whole,
said,
the CLG
3 of the
and the
candidates
CLG
confirmed
requires
did not submit resumes. Right?
As I recall, I didn't
Okay.
nominate any of the candidates that were voted on.
Okay. But you did object.
I did object due to the fact that I was told that, well, from what I had in front of me, there were 2 missing resumes. If there were more than that, that was my oversight.
Okay.
Commissioner Walls, do you have any input on the whole resumes for the CLG?
So reading through the documents that were provided by Mrs. Ringler, it does not specify the requirement for a resume. It suggests either resume or application and having the proper documentation. The motion that I made on the individuals that we originally voted for all either had resumes, had filled out the application, and turned in a letter. So, 2 had filled out applications, 3 had submitted letters along with those and filled out the applications.
The letter that you presented to me a couple of weeks ago after the CLG was voted for, do you have a copy of that, the one that you wanted me to sign?
I don't have it on me right now. I can go grab it.
If you would, please.
Okay. Being that we had one person confirmed who does not live within the city limits, which is a stipulated requirement to serve on the Historic Preservation Resource Commission, I would-
Well, I wasn't here last meeting, remember
I understand.
that, so.
Apparently, one of the people, though they still own a house and occasionally stay at the house, it's one of those sticky situations that we have had previously on this commission, where someone owns a house and may live at another house at the same time. This individual has apparently moved out to that house to take care of their wife and is not, as a whole, always staying at their in-town house anymore.
So their primary residence is outside the city limits.
Where are they registered to vote?
They're registered to vote in the city of Fort
And they're
Scott.
a city of Fort Scott resident.
They still pay city taxes, they still own a house within the city.
If they're registered to vote in the city, they are a city resident.
Again, like I said, it
Doesn't even make sense.
It don't have to make sense.
I understand what you're saying. I just know that we've dealt with it before. We didn't have lawyers go to
Bob, what is
the Attorney General for a
what
response.
is the legal requirement?
Well, I don't think there really is anything technically. If you want to determine residency, it's a state of mind, actually. And for example, a person in the military, if they're from Fort Scott, they can have all their mail sent here and they can vote here, even though they're in Guam and have been for 20 years.
That is an
20 years.
exception that we make for military, though.
Well, but it's the same principle. If you vote here, you can't vote here if you're not a resident.
You
Now, if
can't.
we want to challenge them, and which is really the county clerk's job, not ours,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Okay.
You'd have to prove that they're not a resident.
Okay.
By being a resident here, registered to vote here, they can't vote anywhere else. It's their own choice, so.
Okay.
They can't run for office anywhere else, et cetera.
I mean, I understand it's confusing.
Okay. Then that argument is not relevant to this discussion. The discussion at hand is that we have 2 applicants who have been asked to provide resumes. And we still have,
In fact, the one you asked me to sign.
we still have a vacancy.
It's the one that, because it says local government signed by city official. Chief elected officer.
There was another, I'm sorry, I believe there was another one, but I'm not calling you a liar.
I have-
I'm just saying I remember.
I do have this other document, but this is, I don't think this is the one that you're talking about.
Oh. Like I said, I'm not trying to sabotage the CLG. It was voted on by a majority, and it's moving forward. And when I find the documentation I feel is right, and the requirement is right, I have no issue with signing it. Lord knows there's been other things that were 4-1 votes this year that I had no issue signing. But in me doing my due diligence to the state, when I see resume, I'm thinking, and some of the other descriptions, because I actually went through all the CLG sites and the credentialing and what percentage you should have of each thing. I'm not trying to delay the process. All I'm
Understood.
saying is I want to make sure that if we're going to do this and it's new and it's going to impact people in our town and how downtown business inspections are done, that the i's are dotted and the t's are crossed. So if we're saying resume or application is the verbiage, I recall what stood out to me as resume, but however the commission wants to vote, I'm fine with.
I would like to call to question. We have two applicants before us. The item on the agenda is for us to pick one of these two applicants. One of these applicants has handled many of the current SHPO submissions. One of these applicants has done extensive research on the CLG, knows about what we're doing, has been on the design review board, has done many projects in coordination with SHPO, done the technical writing and the research, and has all of the qualifications needed. Unless anyone else has further discussion, I would motion that we accept Kathy Dancer as the final applicant.
A second.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Abstain?
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes. Now, is there further discussion regarding the other folks that were appointed at the last meeting, or are we leaving that as is?
Leave it stand.
Okay?
I would just say that in the future, if we put out requirements that are published, that we stick to those requirements. If we need to have a work session to discuss the requirements, then let's do that beforehand and agree on them.
Well, I can't speak to what was published, but the mayor did
I understand.
request several times for resumes
I know.
to be requested of applicants.
Yep, but that wasn't what was advertised.
But it-
I take that responsibility, because
Oh.
when I put out the request for proposal, I did put it in an application, so I will take that responsibility.
At this point, I'd say we were in the spilled milk range of things.
Yep, unfortunately.
I don't want to hang around to smell it get bad, so without objection, I will move forward to the next item. Consideration of Resolution 9-2025, resolution and notice of hearing with reference to alleged unsafe and dangerous structure at 121 South Margrave, tabled from April 15th, 2025. Is anyone from Codes here, Brad?
Leroy's here.
So I'm assuming we looked at this in April 15, 2025. There was a commitment or discussion about the house work being done to it or whatever, and that has not happened.
Correct.
Any questions for the codes team?
It hasn't changed miraculously, and it is in better condition now, right?
No.
Okay.
No, the grass is mowed, some of the stuff's been cleaned up, but no, there's been no significant progress.
Is there a motion?
Before you proceed down this road, I would simply admit that I have failed on what I thought I was able to do. There are many extenuating circumstances that have led to that situation. My ask would be that you would give me until February to get the project going in earnest. If not, I will tear the house down myself and save the city the money that they would have to spend to demo the house.
I'm going to premise my response by saying this is not personal.
No,
This is people that have drove by and asked me that were aware of this. And
Yes.
unfortunately, we're aware that you were modeling it. And I drive down Margrave constantly as well.
No, I've spoken with several of them as well. Yes, sir.
And it comes to a time where, I think in our last meeting, we had talked about 90 days to start to see some improvement. So, and now we're looking at September, October, November, December, January, February, another 6 months.
The original motion was for 120 days.
It was supposed to be 120.
Okay, 120. Okay, that's great.
So there's been no change to the property?
Other than keeping it mowed and cleaning up some of the debris, no.
What's the state of the interior wood?
It's in
no
decent
rot?
shape. There's no rot.
Do you
Have
own
you
the
seen the
property yet?
inside,
Is
Leroy?
it deeded over to you?
Have you seen the inside? Is the
Yes,
wood
it
and
was
foundation
deeded
in
over to
good
me
shape?
prior to the last conversation. I was unaware that it was
Well, I mean,
on the
the
demo
bottom
list
part of the foundation's
when I
been
took
taken apart.
possession
prior
of the
owners,
house.
but-
So had I known, I probably never would have taken it.
Is the foundation
That's
crumbling?
moot at this point.
There's literally not really a foundation there.
It's, yeah, dried, it's one of those old dried stack rock foundations. So there's no mortar, it's just dried stacked Bandera limestone, like a lot of the old homes in town.
That's what mine sets on.
Yeah,
And this,
yeah.
this actually, before Commissioner Wells got involved, this actually started in July of 24. So this has been going on for, even before Mr. Wells got involved, this has been going on for over a year and a half.
Well, that house has been like that
For
for 6 or 7 years.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is not, now I don't want you to get into great details, I'm not asking that, but is the excessive rain that we've had a factor in this, or, I'm just trying to understand if like.
Oh, no, the issues have been people that I've hired to help on projects, either join the Air Force, to a preaching job. Several of them never showed back up to work. Yes.
Okay, I just.
Many of them never showed up for work at all, and then unfortunately, on one of my rental properties, I had to go through a lengthy eviction process, and the people trashed the apartment on their way out, and so.
I just wondered
I've had
if
to
you-
spend
if
time
some of your difficulty
fixing that
would
up.
be, like,
Yep.
Happened to anyone kind of thing, and, yeah.
Yep.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, I, since this has been around for a while, is it more dangerous now than it was 6 months ago?
I can't say that it's any more dangerous, but I also can't say it's any less
No,
dangerous.
it's been the same for a long time.
The house is, even with his best efforts to close the house up, it's still easily, that you could easily get in there and.
Yeah.
And things happen.
Anything
But,
happen, yeah.
I don't want to speak.
No, I get it.
Against it, but yeah, it's.
I guess, I don't want to undermine anything that you're doing, don't get me wrong. I guess, in my mind, I'm trying to think, we've allowed other people greater extensions, who haven't demonstrated on other things, and I'm just trying to be fair.
My issue is, yes, it involves a commissioner.
Yeah,
But the house is savable, and he is someone capable of saving
Yeah.
it, and it wouldn't be one more torn down house in our community.
Right, yeah, that's what I was
So-
thinking, is like, we've allowed this extent multiple times for like a business here in town and not seen any progress, whereas this is an individual who has the means, just it's weird circumstances. So, I don't know, that's,
And I just don't want to see taxpayer dollars expended to tear down the house. I can't tear it down right now. But later on, if I'm unable to get the project moving the way that I hope I will, then I don't want the taxpayers to spend money tearing down another house. I will tear it down. I just can't do it anytime soon.
The only thing,
Oh, go ahead.
the only thing that I would add to it is, this is just me doing my job. I don't have a dog in the fight. My only concern with slowing down the process of these demolitions, not specifically to this one, is I get calls regularly that you guys aren't aware of, is this person supposed to be in this house? Is this person supposed to be in that house? We have people that are trying to, our homeless population is gonna, they try to flop in these houses, and as winter comes, it gets worse and worse. And, you know, they've actually burnt down 2 structures this year alone. That's my only concern with doing these things in a timely manner. And like you said, this does have a different feel to it because he is capable. But that is my concern that I want to put on you guys, because
If you need it boarded up where no one can get in the house,
And I.
make sure that's done.
I appreciate that, because that's always been my concern, is not just for our first responders that might have to respond to it. I know we had one guy living in a house over on the west side that decided to make a chimney out of a mailbox.
Yes.
And burnt the house down. That means our first responders got to go in there. Another one is attractive nuisance and children going into the house and getting hurt. There's no surprise to anybody what my stance is on how I feel about these type of projects, because I did get in the car with the police and ride around on the abandoned ones, and they showed me which ones were now drug houses. And the house next door would have little kid toys out in the front yard. Or I talked to a lady that had a beautiful old house across the street. She'd say, I don't even sit on my porch anymore because.
one of our houses that I proposed with the 6 that I did last time, I got a call, late at night from the police, saying this gentleman's in this house. Is he supposed to be? No. And he was taken out of the house. I don't recall if he was arrested or not, but those are the kind of things that I do deal with on this kind of stuff. But and to your remark, if they do decide to give you more time, yes, that would be. I'd appreciate if you did.
That's
board
no
it
problem at all. I know no one's been in there. No one's been in this one.
Well, that one's a little less accommodating than some of
sir.
the others. So yeah.
Well, is there a motion on the floor?
Matthew, how long do you need?
My ask is until at least that first meeting in February. And then if I can't get it going, I'll tear the house down.
How long would it take you to get it boarded up to, like you'd mentioned?
I can get that done in the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
All the windows and entryway if you can.
Oh, yeah, that's what he would like. And I had talked with the codes officer about that before we've had that discussion. And because, as he said, it's not conducive to anyone staying in it, so no one has been going in it. There have not been people in there doing anything. There have not been drugs being done in this house. There have not been homeless people trying to stay in this house. He had, up till now, had not felt it was needed, and so it had not taken place only because the request had not been made. I have made that request before, that I would be happy to do that, but the situation up till now had not warranted it. But if that is the desire, I'm happy to do anything and everything that would help the codes department feel okay about giving us an opportunity to save the building.
I just think it makes me look like I've done due diligence.
Yes, sir. No, I am asking for grace. And so when someone asks for grace, they don't get to make stipulations. They simply ask for grace and say, what can I do to make this situation work out the best. Right. So,
I would move to table Resolution 9-2025 until February of 2026, with the stipulation that the house will be boarded up, the windows, the entry, anything conducive to an outside intruder getting in. And if codes have further problems, that they feel it is an actual imminent threat, they'll bring it back to the commission immediately.
I second.
Matthew Wells,
abstain.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
And I want to be able to look you in the eye when I tell you, this is not personal. You know my stance on these
Yes, sir.
properties.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, my vote is no.
I understand.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Hope to still get a Christmas card from you.
Matthew, please work with our codes officers, just to make sure that that structure is, safe, not dangerous.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, section number 9, new business, and we do have the one item on there for the frame grant that we added, which would be item E. Item A, consideration of certificate of appropriateness, Gordon Parks mural at Main and Wall in the Wilder House Building, approved by the Design Review Board, Lisa Dillon, and I see we've got Kurt here from Gordon Parks. Welcome, Kurt. By the way, I loved you in the video earlier.
Oh, I'm glad you did, because I didn't, so.
And so this is for the certificate of appropriateness for a mural. And I'm going to kind of let Kirk, he's got everything pretty much all, knows how to speak about it much better than I do.
Well, I'll do my best, so. Thank you all. This is a grant project we got for the Kansas Arts Commission. We received this grant, I think, in July. There was some slowdown because of the federal grant funding cuts, but we were able to get it. We was awarded, but they didn't have the funds yet to award it, so we now got awarded. So this project has been something that we've been eyeing for a very long time. I don't know if you can see the design of the project. This is going to go on to the north side of Sunshine Boutique Building. And one of the key things is the image of it's going to be an image of Gordon, and an image of Gordon on a horse that the Design Review Board really liked and really recommended. And then the quote, I don't have the quote in front of me, but it's a quote that Gordon sent on behalf to Fort Scott through then Mayor Ken Lunt. And you can see basically it just talks about, he's been to New York, Paris, London, and other places. Fort Scott is not as heralded as those places, but his home, his place, best thing in his universe. So I think that's a powerful message to Fort Scott, and it's great for tourism. We've had great support. Kennedy Jennings, the owner of the Sunshine Boutique Building or the Wild House Building, really loved the idea to bring in tourism. There's going to be another featured opportunity for people to learn more about Gordon Parks and see the pride in it, and plus for selfie opportunities too as well. It's just another added feature for people to come to Fort Scott. And then we had great support from the city of Fort Scott itself, Fort Scott Area Chamber of Commerce, and Rachel French with the mural, Fort Scott Forward. And so everybody's excited. The artist is Kababi Bayok. You may be familiar because he's the artist that was selected to do the mural on the 1st Kansas Colored Infantry unit. He is a world-renowned artist, and so we're very fortunate to give him a part of this project. He's been friends with the Gordon Parks family for a while, and so they're excited, and we're excited, and I think it's everybody has seen this mural. Some of you may know that we're working on a book project called Fort Scott Stories in honor of Gordon Parks' book, Back to Fort Scott. The filmmaker we're working with, the photographer we're working with, is a filmmaker too as well. He's one of our honorees this year for the Gordon Parks celebration, Michael Cheers. Some of y'all may have met him and know him. I've been talking about this project to him, and then I showed him the rendering. He wants the rendering to be as part of the book, as probably the bookend. He's already got approval from the artist to do that, and they also wants to do an interview with them, and also the filming that he's doing too. Well, we did a first session of filming in June. We're going to do another session of filming in late September all the way up to the celebration. So he wants to have that part of that too as well. one of the things that we're going to do is have a mural unveiling event during the celebration on Friday the 4th that we're going to schedule with that too. So we're excited about this, and I hope you are. I think a lot of people in the community will be. It's going to show great pride, and it's going to, for not only Fort Scott, for Kansas, and show all the visitors what we have here.
And Kirk, everything was approved by SHPO.
Yes.
So the way that the mural is going to be put on is a little bit different than our traditional. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
go
didn't
ahead.
wanna
No,
steal
go
your-
ahead.
I just know this is important. We made sure that everything followed SHPO's guidelines. The way that the mural will be installed is a little bit different. This is the first time we've done this downtown, but I'm really excited to see how it goes. So they'll be on panels that will be attached to the mortar. And so that way the building is safe. And like we had talked about before, if there was any storm damage or something like that, it would be a lot easier to fix the mural. And Kababi will actually, because you know how long it took him last time, and he was here in the August heat, he'll be able to paint this in his shop, and then they'll bring it down at the end of September, and we'll install then.
Yes, we're excited about that. The panels are going to be very nice. It's going to be 4 foot by 8 foot panels. They're actually going to shade the top of it to make it breathe a little bit. So probably about approximately 20 feet wide and 7 feet tall. And we have wonderful support from Commissioner Wells is going to help install, and reaching out to Midco with Chase Halsey. When I talked to Chase about it, showed him a copy of the rendering, he was fired up, very excited to be honored to be part of this project. And so here we are.
Right. I would move to approve the consideration of certificate appropriateness Gordon Parks mural at Main and Wall in the Wilder House building that was approved by the Design Review Board. Is there a second?
Second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Abstain?
All right. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lisa. Looks like it's
Rachel,
going to be
thank you.
fantastic. Can't wait to see it.
Yes, thank you.
All right, item B, consideration of Fort Scott Developer Partnership Incentive Package 2026. Lisa Dillon.
Yes. So this evening, I'd like to present to you, it would be a developer partnership incentive package. The overall package is something that we're looking at in order to be able to entice developers to be able to come down into Fort Scott in order to be development for residential homes. So it kind of breaks through, it does actually kind of limit on, it does have a maximum amount of $7,500 per home. That would be the incentive for doing the utility installations as far as water, sewers, and the public sidewalks extensions. And then it does break down into performance-based, as if a certain amount of square footage, you would get an incentive upon completion. And these, when it comes to completion, these are talking about actually being sold. So it's not something that they would kind of be done. They're not going to receive anything until after it's actually been sold and certificate of occupancy has been on it. And then it partners with the land bank as well. There's marketing support on this. As far as just doing for our local social media to be able to get the homes out and to be able to kind of offer that as an incentive. There's also another area that is a targeted neighborhood bonus. And on this one, it is like a $1,000 incentive in order for people to be able to build in a certain area. That area has not been designated. That is something that I think that is something that you guys would consider as to, or the Planning Commission would be able to consider what would be an appropriate area for those extra incentives.
Just to confirm, this is not for remodeling, this is for new construction.
Correct. And then it goes into, which we already have, is the RID and the NRP. Those are both incentives that, a developer would be able to use as well. And then we have a timeline, completing the construction within 9 months. A 3-month extension can be approved if there's unforeseen delays, but that's one of the things that we have. And then obviously meet all the permitting and the code enforcement as well.
I did have a few questions. So there was a limit of 5 per developer, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And is that forever?
So that is something that I would say per year.
Okay.
And the reason being is because if we set it for a certain dollar amount,
Yeah.
and again, I don't know what the budget extremes would be, but, you know, if we did 50,000, then, you know, we could be able to say, offer to that developer 5 within that
I
year.
just wonder if we had someone who was particularly successful, I'd hate to lock them out in the future. Okay, and then, so my other question is, okay, so there's a dollar amount limit per, and then there's a 5 per developer. But let's just say in this wonderful world that we have just a stampede of people coming. Is there a top end on how many developers we would be able, I mean, that's where I'm wondering, where's the cutoff?
So I think that what we need to do is do a cap. So we would do a cap per year.
Okay.
And so, that was, for instance, like a 50,000 would be the cap per year, and then the developer can each have like the 5, up to 5 for that year.
Okay, So
that-
within that, and then, so 5 per developer tops within that, so you might have, there's math there.
Right.
But yeah, okay, got it, okay, thank you.
So you're looking at wanting to basically a $50,000 a year program to start, or?
Yes, I mean, so and obviously, I'm not knowing what is in the budget for 2026, which I know that that's been in discussions. But if there's something that's in there, I'm willing, I can work. I'm just trying to get some sort of incentives for developers to be able to encourage new development here in Fort Scott, because most of our existing homes are
Oh, I'm all
built.
for it.
Lisa, I'm assuming that you can make this happen. And you're asking for 50,000, and it looks like the maximum incentive we'd be positioning ourselves to give was 12,500 per unit. And there's a cap of 5 per developer per year.
Correct.
So do you need 62,500 so that we could potentially fully fund?
That would be terrific.
Okay.
You know, I'm just trying to work with whatever is available. I know it's coming in late in the season for budget season.
Okay.
So, but just trying to do what I can in order to try to get some of this off the ground.
And I just had one other question for the square footage for the single-family versus multifamily unit. I see the incentives are the same, but the square footage is different. Is the multifamily unit, say like under 1,200 square feet, is that per dwelling unit? So like
Yes.
per apartment or?
Yes.
side of
So
a
it's
few
per
ones?
each side. So basically, so I mean, you would be looking at 1,200 square feet for each section. So, or if there was a triplex, that type of situation.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Where could that come out of in the budget?
Economic development, essentially.
That's where, that's where it's going.
My only question is, so if you have a developer that wants to build 5 houses, are you gonna give them the whole budget, or are you gonna say, no, you can only have 1?
Can they get all 5 houses built?
Is it a first come, first served thing, or?
So that's the only kind of, you take your whole incentive program if you have someone that wants to build 5 houses, or do you say, no, you can only have?
Well,
one
these
credit?
are for being completed. So it's not something that is like, so everyone can start, but it's, you know, who's going to get it completed? And that's where ultimately that it comes down to, is that you can apply and you can be able, Coffeyville has had much success with this, and they've had a lot of developers that have actually come
Oh.
down and started to do a lot of
Once
this.
they're completed and sold or
Yes.
leased?
Yes,
Okay.
And they turn it in, and then they get it
right.
reimbursed back on the end.
In the like the infrastructure, the utility and sidewalk, that's cost share, that's 50%, right?
Right.
Okay. Do they also not get that until the house is sold?
So that is one cost that we would have to do upfront, only because, you know, getting the existing structure and getting water to that. So that will be one part
Okay.
that would be, but with that, we've also kind of have talked about that we would be at that, we would want that, do that anyways, because we don't want them connecting into our lines and having any other mishaps happen.
Okay.
Call the question. Is there a motion
Do we-
on the floor?
We
One
did
more
confirm that
question.
do we have 62.5 in the budget to fund that, Brad?
Coming out of the Economic Development Fund, yes.
Okay. Now, it's not going to shortchange us on,
Not on the small business
Okay.
grants, no, it won't.
No, I meant for, in case you need to put some additional personnel resources toward economic development?
No, sir. We'll be
Okay.
fine. We'll be fine.
Okay. I would make a motion to approve the 2026 City of Fort Scott Developer Partnership Incentive Package as presented.
Seconded.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lisa. Good work.
Thank you, Lisa.
Item C, consideration of sales tax ballot question. Brad Matkin.
All right, fun time here. So,
Is this your idea of fun?
I have to turn in the ballot question for the sales tax, probably tonight after the meeting. So there's 5 options. I don't know if you want me to go through these options, if I can actually figure them out.
What if we want to propose an option that is not
Why
on
don't you
these?
go
five?
ahead? That'd be great.
Okay.
Go ahead. Then we'll
So
go,
I would-
guys go from there.
Yeah, I mean, based on the meeting the other night and what has been presented, I would like us to have 3 questions. One on the .45 for the streets, one on the .1 for parks, and one on the .1 for public safety, and let the citizens decide.
So that ends up being 4.7, not 5 total?
He's
It'll-
saying separate ballot questions for
Separate-
each one.
Separate ballot questions
Plus-
for each
So
one.
we aren't going for a total of a half cent, that's what I'm saying.
It'd be
No.
.65 if all of them pass, but he's saying each of them have their.
Because I had more than one person say
Yeah.
they're 100% ready to vote for the streets, not sure they want to vote for this, not sure they want to vote for that.
No, I get it.
And Brad can tell you, I can tell you, everyone can tell you, we want to be able to continue to work on the streets at the rate we've been working on them.
Yeah.
We need the citizens to extend that. I'm hoping that they will see the benefit in what we've done with the parks and what we've done and want to do with public safety, and they will decide, yes, I want to support the police and fire, yes, I want to support our parks.
Yeah.
But my suggestion would be, let's separate it into 3 questions and allow the citizens to decide.
All on the ballot at one time, right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
And, yeah, to that, I think because of the regressive nature of sales tax in general, I think that that's important to break it up. I was leaning early on towards the all in bulk, but I've been convinced otherwise through things people have said, and I don't want it to be perceived as we're taking money away from the streets to do these other things. So, yeah, I think that that makes sense. I would support your suggestion.
Other discussion?
I was just going to ask, what percentage again?
Be .65. If the thing about separating them out,
So it's going to be more than half a cent if all goes
the
through.
thing about separating them out is you can't say it's going to be more, because it could be less if one passes and 2 others don't, and so forth. You can't say it's going to be more. but-
My main concern is the amount we currently get for the streets. I would like that to not be impacted, which is why I'm suggesting the .45 for the streets, and then the others to be .1.
Would .1 for those to take care of the requirements or exceed them for public safety?
No, that'd be
This is just my opinion, and I've thought about it quite a bit since our town hall. Option 1 is what I lean towards tonight, because I don't like that we could potentially have less money for our streets, but if it fails, I won't be sitting here next year, maybe not, but come spring next year, if this fails, you can put it back to the voters separately.
That makes sense to me.
in a special election.
And I would agree that, number one, if you talk to a lot of the voters in this town, when you start breaking it out, and I'm not saying before anybody jumps on Facebook, I'm not saying anybody's stupid or anything, but when you have a vote and you lay it out, 80%, 10%, 10%, and we heard that in the town hall. Wait a minute, what's all the math? What's all the point this, point that? I would rather provide them as well the option of extending the tax at the 80, 10, 10, letting the voters speak, and what I call all in one pop, ripping the Band-Aid off at once, as opposed to, here's question one, it's a tax we want to add. Here's question two, it's a tax. Now, if we have to break that out and better advertise it in the spring to Commissioner Dillon's, but I think from a simplicity standpoint, and another thing is those of us that have been on here long enough, and I think that's everybody, understands our public safety needs. And I think that the public safety, that's actually the city manager's first priority, is keep citizens of Fort Scott safe. And I don't think it would absolutely, in my opinion, while I enjoy the park system, public safety should be more important than the parks, because it protects people. And then the streets absolutely are an imperative. So we haven't made a motion yet, but I like Commissioner Olson's idea of option one, and then if we have to in the spring, we can reapproach it in another way, and maybe we need to explain it better.
I hear what both of you are saying. I just know that there are a fair amount of people that if we present it as an all-in-one, they won't vote for it. I mean, and it's probably that way.
And
So,
I've had feedback from people that say, just make it simple, yes, public safety is
I guess my
important.
question to those people though would be, so you don't support fixing the parks?
No, they will vote yes if it is broken into the separate. Their
What
problem.
difference does that
I
make?
can't
It's one
explain
and the
that.
same.
I don't necessarily agree
That way they
with
get
their
to pick and
viewpoint.
choose.
I'm simply pointing out what citizens have said to me. They said that they will definitely vote for the streets, and they will most likely vote for the other two if it's all broken out. If they're all combined, they will vote no. That's just what I've heard from quite a few people.
And I can say I've heard the opposite.
Okay.
I've gotten the same feedback you've gotten.
Yep.
But we need to figure out how many options we're going to have, right? So,
Well, it'll,
I think we're trying to vote on which
I got
option we're
one
going to
option.
submit.
yeah, no, I
I
know.
have one option I got to submit tomorrow.
Well, I would just like to say, I can't remember when, but I brought this up earlier this year, I think. This has become overcomplicated, in my opinion. It's become overcomplicated for a question that should have been as simple as, not even 10 years, just putting the word renewal on it and seeing if the voters would be okay with it. That's what I wanted several months ago.
Yeah, and then if, I think voters can get behind renewing what we have, and then if we want to add, a 0.1% sales tax for public safety, then that's another option.
But I'm afraid
when we
in
overcomplicate it,
these
it's
whole
like-
discussions, we've overcomplicated this. That's what I'm afraid of.
Jerry Witt said, got to make it easy,
Yep, make
Yeah,
it
he said keep it simple.
simple.
And
Yeah,
I
'cause-
would be interested in seeing, because again, you look at 3 items on a ballot, it's like, my gosh, 3 different, regardless of the amount, especially if you're putting in decimal points. How
Yeah,
much are they going to tax us? But one question that says the amount stays the same, but instead of being 90-10, it's going to be 80-10-10. The result of that election will tell you exactly what you need to do in the spring.
Yep, that's just how I view it, because should that option one fail, whoever's sitting here next spring will have to make a choice of,
Yeah.
do you ask for streets again and parks, or, public safety, or you just go back and ask for streets and,
And parks is public buildings too, you said that, right? Yeah. And then with the equipment you've purchased to be able to do the ward work ourselves, would that slight reduction, I would think that would be made up for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Doing
not
it
really-
ourselves will,
So it's not really taking anything away.
Correct.
from the-
correct.
Now, the way these are worded is, well, it's not accurate, right? The exception of the one that says 80-10-10,
Yes.
right?
No.
Yeah, so option 3 says, 45 100ths% of the proceeds for street improvements and 0.05% of the proceeds for public safety. And that doesn't add up to 100%, right?
90-10.
So 90-10. That needs to be clear and unambiguous. You can't be adding percents.
Well, that's actually
You know,
your,
per-
that's actually your
Yeah.
renew.
Right,
That's what that one is.
that's
Option
just
three
renew.
is-
Just renew what we currently have.
Right.
Well, no, because you can't put renewal on there if you're changing the years.
Right, you can't change it, you can't put renew, according to Bob, if we're gonna change the allocation.
I wish you could, it'd make it a lot simpler.
That would. So,
Well, since the floor is open, we are still discussing, but I would go ahead
Yes.
and move to accept option 1, which is the 80-10-10 on the half cent. I think it's the clearest, and I think it will definitely give us an indicator.
I think people can get behind not reducing the amount of money we allocate toward roads. I mean, our roads are, we talk about it all the time. It's many times the biggest topic of discussion at a commission meeting is how we're gonna address roads. Whether it's because, crumbling infrastructure and sewer mains or water mains or whatever, we still have to put the road back together. And allocating less money toward the roads, I think, is a mistake. Especially if we have feedback from citizenry who say, if you change it and reduce the amount of money allocated toward roads, I won't vote for it.
And then I'm relying as well on, this was the initial recommendation by our city manager, and that he's confident that with that 80%, our road progress will not be impaired or suffered. Correct, Mr. City Manager?
Correct.
Well, his original recommendation was 1 cent at the 80-10-10. That was the original option that was presented to us.
Yeah, okay. I just want to get something in the newspaper
Yes, sir.
so we can get going.
Yes, sir.
I made a motion on the floor for option 1, I guess it.
Oh, you made a motion?
Yes, for option 1.
I'll second it so we can see where this takes us.
Tim Van Hookey,
Yes.
Dylan Olson,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
No.
Tracy Dancer.
Is this as the only option?
If this passes,
Well, it
yes.
could
If
die.
this passes.
It could,
I'm just asking.
If it dies, we're moving on to the next.
Yeah,
step.
if it doesn't
Yes.
pass.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Yes. Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
okay, so make sure I know. Option 1, 80-10-10, correct? I
Are
just
we
wanna-
gonna have another option?
Well,
No,
I-
that passed.
That was it.
Passed.
That's what
Well,
just passed.
You want to revote?
That's what I said. You,
No, I-
if it dies, you get the chance.
Yeah, if you died, then we could move on to the next option.
But you actually won, you actually got 4-1.
Yes.
So unless you,
I mean, I will make a motion that we present 3 different questions, point 4.5, point 1,
Well-
point 1.
Well, wait a minute. The first option is already, there was a motion, a second, and a vote.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
went
and we're-
4-1. If this one
Bob?
goes 5-0, then
It's over.
Party's over.
I mean, it's just over. I'm sorry.
If it had failed, I'd have been open to trying.
I would've.
So,
And if it makes you feel any better, with Catherine's vote, Would it pass 3-2?
If our city commissioner tells us that, you know, roads improvement can continue with, you know,
At 80?
at 80,
Let's roll with it. It's over.
then,
He looks confident.
no, he will find a way.
All right.
And if he can't, he will tell
All
us.
right, moving on to item D, discussion with Earl's Engineering and Inspection requested by Commissioner Matthew Wells.
Thank you. Oh, I'm gonna get rid of these suckers, so I don't mess up. I don't wanna mess up.
Good evening, sir. How
All
are you?
right. Good evening. Hard time getting up. You've had to sit there for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm getting old, you know. No, I don't have new knees. Mine are 66 years old.
Did you get a new hip or something?
No, same ones. I just look that way.
That's right.
All right, you guys can compare scars later, all right?
First off, I want to start by saying what's been done on the water side, I have not a single complaint. The engineering has been excellent. The work that we've been getting is excellent. The repair to our water plant, to the lift stations, to the pump stations, all 100% love everything you've done. My issue, of course, is with the street projects. And so that's why I requested this discussion this evening, because we've had a couple of issues where everyone pointed fingers at each other at the end of the job. And I'm not okay with that moving forward with the other projects that we have. So I would like to know why things happened the way that they did, and if you have a corrective action that is going to make sure we never have to deal with that as the city of Fort Scott again.
You talked, you know, we're talking about the overlay project.
That would be
So
one.
then the other ones, the chip and seal is just that's just a bad contractor. I mean, that you don't put on dirty rock.
Okay.
That's just that simple. That was, I don't know if anybody inspected that. I don't think it was. So that job was nothing more than a contractor not doing his job.
Okay.
Now, the overlay, it was designed to have 2 lifts. It should have had 2 lifts. Unfortunately, the state allows you to put on 1 lift. It is never a good, excuse me, I can't talk. It's never a good idea to put down a single lift when you're going over top of brick. For the very simple reason is brick is uneven. So the first course is what we call a leveling course, and the final course is just that, to make it a smooth, better ride. Now, the problem with this whole project was the lack of doing any current thing with the drainage, curb and gutter. When you're laying asphalt, you usually use a curb as your benchmark. You follow the curb. Well, if your curb is going up and down and not flowing, then you can't do that. So then you're trying to make it so you don't have ponds in the roadway. And it makes it a lot harder to do that when you don't fix the curb and gutter first. It still would have been a better job had our inspector forced them to do the way it was designed. The contractor did what he wanted to do. He claimed that he talked with Jason, which he did not. And the inspector believed him instead of calling the office and saying, is this okay? And so not that he didn't do what he could have done according to state regulations, but he didn't do what we planned on doing, which was 2 lifts. I don't want to say the inspector probably won't be down here for a long time. Number one, because he had an accident on a job site that he didn't, wasn't paying attention very well and got severely injured, and is now absent for quite a while. But it is something that we try
trained the inspectors that they've got to contact us, me and the engineers, on any changes. And no change from plan should ever have occurred without Jason's approval.
And a change order. Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah.
It would have had to come through a change order
yeah.
saying that this was a change from the original design aspect. Meaning, you know, again, you, instead of laying 3 inches or what, I think it was 3. And his defense says that, well, the state allows me to go up to 4, which they do, but that doesn't make it right.
Well, where does the contract come into play with that? Because our contract and our responses to the contract specifically called out per question, can we do a 3-inch lift? And the response back through you as our conduit was no. So even though the state says something, if the contract specifically states it, and you guys go back and tell someone they can't in the pre-bid questioning, what's the point of even putting that information in the contract?
Well, the point the contractor's stating is that, you know, he's doing it, I don't want to say, he's claiming that because he followed KDOT specifications, that what he's doing isn't unethical or isn't wrong with paving tendencies, even though he didn't follow the plans. His claim is that minimum specifications of the state allows him to do it.
Yeah, but per the terms of the contract, the deliverables were stated, and then they weren't delivered.
But the only way to find out what would have happened would have been
Yeah.
to have either held our ground and made them mill it, or took them to court.
Well, the only question I have for you, sir, is going forward, is there any ambiguity about the role of Earl's Engineering representatives on city work sites?
Well, anymore, we won't be putting anybody out here that's not fully experienced with road design, road construction. Right now, we have both our top inspectors down here working on a treatment facility. But those guys are the ones we're going to pull out here. We have 3 top ones. One of them's out for now because of surgery. But those guys do nothing but streets. And they'll be the ones that'll be down here from now on a street. Now, the other guy, maybe you have to help him to learn. But we'll have Brad Mahoney's got 35 years of experience. Gary Geist has 30 years of experience, and Russell Bowes has, you know, he's 61, so whatever that is, almost 40 years of experience.
Okay.
And
But-
those are the guys that are going to run the jobs from now.
But the role of the Earl's Engineering representative on a city project is to provide the engineering expertise and oversight. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
Okay. That's all I added. That's all I needed to hear. Thank you.
So were you saying the guy that was out here, the previous supervisor, didn't have the experience of these other guys?
No, he did not.
Okay.
And his biggest mistake was not getting back with Jason to say, is this all right? Instead, he listened, basically, the contractor told him this is what he did, that he got approval from Jason, and so he accepted it instead of double checking and saying, did this really happen, Jason? Did
So-
you really approve it?
In your history of working with City of Fort Scott, and as Commissioner Wells said, we do appreciate majority of the stuff, that the services you guys provide for what we contract you for. But to your memory, how many road projects did we have that were as large as the Horton Street project?
None that I know of.
None. And I guess the disappointment is for our biggest project we ever had, we had a less experienced guy out there as a supervisor for our project.
Unfortunately, that is.
Instead of the guy what you just mentioned that has 35 years experience. So I'm not beating up on you. I'm just saying for us, Horton Street was huge.
Yes.
You know,
Oh, I
and
understand
to
that.
hear that, well, this guy was young and inexperienced and now he's gotten himself hurt. But you have another guy that's going to come in that's got 35 years experience. That's kind of the sour pill to swallow after the fact.
No, I understand that. Unfortunately, at the time, we had a
Sure, other
25-mile
projects.
interstate job.
Yep.
But you're right. That was not good on our part.
Any other questions or comments?
No, I'm satisfied with the fact that we're going to get guys who have 20, 25 years' experience on these next projects. And if the city continues to move forward with Earls, my belief is that every project from here on out, streetwise, is going to be.
You'll see a difference.
Yeah, and we'd rather have this conversation, sir, than, because in business, as you know, no matter what kind of business is, if we're committed to you guys and we decided to move to somebody else, there's a cost of change to us.
Sure.
If the new guy has to learn everything about everything that's been done in Fort Scott and where the key places are and the main projects that are being worked on. But you can imagine once in a while on some of this stuff that happens that the city commissioners, but more importantly to me, the city manager, kind of takes a pounding from the citizens.
I understand that, and like I said, we'll have people out here, and we appreciate Fort Scott. We appreciate all the time and the work we put in with you and working with you on various projects, and we'll do better. Let's put it that way.
I do have one closing comment. If in the future, during a project for which you guys are providing the engineering oversight and supervision, if there is any ambiguity about, the terms and conditions, please bring them to the commission. Actually, bring them to this gentleman right here.
Absolutely.
Brad Matkin, immediately, so he can alert the commission, so we can take appropriate action. All right?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And seriously, thank you so much for everything you have done to help us improve our city.
Well, we appreciate working with you. We really do, and with Brad and the whole crew.
Don't run off, because Jason's going to be up at the mic here as soon as we get through this last item and get to reports and comments.
Thank you.
Okay, we did add an item E under Section 9, new business on the frame grant, because the commission last week had approved the infrastructure for a property over at 4th and Arthur. So is there, now that the college has come in, we have a definitive project manager that will work with Lisa Dillon and the city manager regarding the 4th and Arthur property and the commitment made by the city to put infrastructure in. Is there a move to rescind that offer?
So the project's no longer happening at that.
It's not happening at that location.
I would move to rescind the frame grant project for 4th and Arthur
And the extended infrastructure.
and the extended infrastructure projects that were to accompany it.
Second.
Dylan Olson?
Yes.
Matthew Wells?
Yes.
Tracy Dancer?
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury?
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey?
Yes. All right, reports and comments. Jason, you and Earl's been sitting there a long time. You get to go first.
We'll just update projects. I think you probably, you had an invoice on consent for survey on East National, so that was finished. So we're continuing with design on that cost share project. So that's going well. I think we had survey come out actually just last Friday to pick up a couple extra shots. So we made sure we tie into National Avenue better and fix that. You got a little drainage issue on that north curb where it's not draining, so we surveyed a little further north so we can make sure we fix that curb.
As part of that East National project, we're doing a complete storm
Yes.
sewer system.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got a couple sumps right before the railroad. There's a sump that's kind of got those flumes kicking water. It's kind of weird. It's kicking water like across the street is kind of what ends up happening, because one's picking up water and one's sending water out to the north. So that location is going to get inlets, and that water ultimately ends up in the railroad ditch to the east. So we're going to pick that up and try to get it to the railroad ditch, and we'll end up with some sets of inlets up the hill. And then there's another sump right east of the highway bridge. So those will get replaced, and if we need to add inlets, because that kicks into that buck run essentially along 69. So we'll try to pick up more water from the street and get it out. and get the street down so that water is getting off the right-of-way into the road and drained out. So that what's happening with the curbs now will stop. Of course, it's got 2 to 4 inches of extra asphalt on it now, so the curbs are kind of, they didn't fill in the gutters like they usually do, so it's kind of a drop-off in some spots. So we're going to try to fix all that stuff with the design. Any other questions on East National?
Hey, Jason, just out of curiosity, I know we have that railroad study going on about, providing an overpass.
Yeah.
Why have we not considered East National for the location of an overpass?
That's a good question.
I mean, if we could get, Burlington Northern and in the state to pay for some of that, I mean,
that would be nice. I think,
Interesting spot, but.
yeah, there's some
It says
consideration.
You got the houses to the east, that would be the biggest.
For Margrave, that would be.
Yeah.
You'd have to go over Margrave
Yeah,
in
and
order
come
to
back.
get, according to KDOT standards, the
Would you?
rise and fall, what is it?
When our current,
The railroad is really
Very quick.
so when our
stringent. They
current
need long
underpass was designed and
lengths
built,
to change
times
grade.
were probably a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my understanding.
Quite a
is
few
that-
houses there.
Well, but my understanding is that KDOT requires a certain rise to run, and that rise to run to get up and over and carry it out would put us all the way into the National Cemetery.
I don't think legally you can build one quite like we have anymore, so.
Yeah, the one on Third Street is a little.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a.
We wouldn't do
that. They want to do away with that one. They talk about it all the time. Because it's not tall enough for the semis to get under.
Yeah.
This one here.
Deeper?
You could. You'd have to pump the stormwater out probably, but
Yeah.
Just clicking on that.
yeah. There's there's always
Semi
options.
is a good time any more than they already have there.
Yeah.
I said, let's not make.
And we are salvaging the bricks on the East National project,
Make it deeper.
Yeah,
so
we'll
they
have
start
that
going
in the
up.
bid.
because all of those are those 2x4 pavers.
Yeah. So it'll cost extra, and that'll be a non-participating cost.
We can always dump them over there at
Cost share,
the, we can get a hold of the sheriffs, we can dump them over there, maybe Mr. Culler,
Yeah.
we'd have to ask, of course. We can get them over there, they'll clean them for us and palletize them.
Over at the sheriff's department? Okay. Yeah,
We'll
basically
have to
just give them
contact them and
instruction.
make sure that they're
Yeah.
still willing to do that, but in the past, they've always been willing to partner with us on having the guys come out and work on those. A couple packs of cigarettes and everybody's happy. They like pizza too, or McDonald's, yeah. But they really like the cigarettes, I'm just saying. I'm not a smoker, but
Yeah. The other project, we're hoping to still get bid soon, that Davis Lift Station work with the force main, and now the bypass pumping, all that stuff. I'm waiting on one supplier to get back, and then that should be ready, and I'll call Brad and try to get a date where we want to advertise and set a bid opening. So that's coming very soon.
what day in September are we going out for the clip bids for the phase 1 and 2?
That is actually moved to January, I
Go out
believe.
for bids?
To open the bids.
Oh, to
So
open.
we'll advertise in December, though that got moved
Oh.
at
I
some
thought we were
point.
going out for bids in September
Yeah.
and opening them in November.
We can try, we can still try to bid it early, but
Okay,
I don't think
You
I've
gotta
heard
get
back from
people-
KDOT.
Get it on their books.
yeah. Especially since we're doing that project next year, if there's the possibility of getting it bid in September and having all this pre-planned before the end of the year,
Sooner would seem
I would
better.
greatly appreciate it.
So you want to advertise in September? Or you want to open the bids in September?
No, advertise
Advertise.
in
And then
September,
open in November?
open, is that, Brad, is that good with you?
We're planning on it going in 2026 anyway, so.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be better getting it done before the end of the year, just to get it on contractors' books.
Yeah.
For, what did they say, summer? Spring or summer?
Spring,
Spring.
typical, yeah, March.
Probably November would be the latest.
Yeah.
But that'd give people time to get on their books and be ready to roll.
But I'll check, because, yeah,
If you wait-
KDOT was moving things around, and every one of those that we're looking at had got shifted further down the road, so.
We can shift that one back
Landed,
in.
so we can try to pull it back. So we did our second submittal a while back, and I just got comments last week. So we go through those comments, work through that, and then there's 2 more submittals after that. So that makes it kind of tight, so it's August. So it'll be tough to get KDOT to comment that quickly.
Okay.
But we can tell them the city would like, because the city, you guys are going to open bids yourselves, so they may relinquish a little bit of that control on time. But they're still pressed to get the plans, review them.
Yes, sir.
And do that 2 more
I
times.
just, to Brad's point, we want the contractors to get it on their books so
Yeah.
that project starts spring.
Not wait till next year and then you're
Yeah.
into a summer, late summer kind of deal.
Please and thank you.
Well, I think that's all I had. Any other questions?
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Mr. Farmer?
Yeah, this is just a personal observation. My little sister was back here, and she lives in Wichita, and spent a week with us. And of course, my wife is very involved in the farmers market. We went down there, and she looks around and she comments, what a wonderful cover the farmers market has that you all provided, and what a delightful view of the little kids playing in the splash pad that you all put in there. And those kinds of comments, I think, from people out of town make me feel very proud of the work that you have done. And I don't think you hear enough about that. That's all I got.
Thank you, Bob. And again, we get to vote yes or no, but it's the people of this town that come up with the committees to do this stuff, and the city staff and city manager that execute it. I mean, it's a pleasure. I think every commissioner will say, you know, that we wholly support and are very grateful for not only the team, but for the residents in town that give their time and money and ideas to do
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff.
Especially all the people that were on that splash pad and the Sensory Park Committee that put in all that time getting the grants, getting the funding, doing the planning, all those people that worked tirelessly on the pavilion committees, making sure that came to fruition. There's a lot of people in town that are to be thanked for some of the great things that we have.
Why? Because it's close and convenient? Because that's it for me. Yeah. Okay, Mr.
You'll get a phone call tomorrow from
Yeah, you will.
somebody that owns those porta potties.
Mr. Matkin?
I have no comments, but I do need about a 10-minute session after
Yes, sir.
everybody goes through.
All right. Commissioner Wells, you kind of started your comments. Did you have more to add on to those?
Couple of quick things, Brad, and I know we kind of talked about it just a little bit the other day, that light there at Third Street.
We called them in.
And
They got the 12th Street one fixed.
Okay.
But it took us a long time to get them in here to fix that one.
All right.
So hopefully, we push them a little bit more.
Okay, I just had.
I've threatened to call the boss on that one.
Okay, I appreciate it. There's some bus drivers that come up to that corner, and with it being really hot out right now, we don't have air conditioning in the bus. Oh, man. One of them had to sit there for 20 minutes today.
Really?
Yes. No, and we can't turn right on red, so there's nothing he could do, and the traffic was backed up because the train was on the track, and so it was
It's the east, coming from the east to west.
coming underneath the overpass. Yep.
It's the sun.
Yep.
That's what was going on with 12th
Going on
Street
12th?
too.
Okay, excellent. Thank you for having a plan to fix that. I also got asked if we could take a look at some of the lights down at the skate park.
We're working on that.
Working on that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we already, I know we've had somebody looking at them.
Okay.
I think we've got that in the works, if they haven't already done it.
All right, this comment came last week, so
Yeah.
if there's been anything done,
I'll follow up, but I'm pretty sure it's done.
all right. Thank you, sir. And then had two other things. One of them is on the chip seal project. As you heard from our engineer, bad contractor, bad product. In situations where a contractor working on a KDOT specified standards and specifications project, there are several remedies that are available to us, the owner. Price reduction of one we're willing to accept, which we've made them 2 offers. They denied both of those. Corrective actions. We had a meeting with them. We laid out 3 corrective actions we'd be willing to accept. We got no quote from them on any 3 of those corrective actions. If they want to do their own testing on the material, they needed to make sure that it was lab certified, which it was not. It was done by one of their own engineers, and even he admitted that there was too much dust in the product. At this point, our 2 options that are left are withholding payment, which is what we have been doing, or 2, termination of the contract for failure to meet specific contract provisions, especially regarding the breach of specified product used. And this breach of contract can lead to us terminating the contract and awarding the contract to another company. And at this point, that would be my suggestion. I would like it on the agenda for the next meeting,
Our next meeting's where we were gonna put it.
okay? And
I
this is
will-
what I'm asking the commission to do, is terminate that contract. We can call Circle C, have them give us a quote, and have them come in and fix the roads, and we'll pay them.
I will agree with Commissioner Wells. I won't support a payment higher than what I proposed that prior meeting.
I will tell you, you haven't gotten a formal response yet, but their lawyer called me to seek a resolution of withholding payment and to look at what was going on. And he was assigned to watch the meetings as well. I haven't heard back from him. And so I want to let you know, they're not totally ignoring you, they're just really slow to respond.
And I understand that, but
They did respond. I sent you guys to respond.
they did. They responded and said they weren't willing to accept the gracious payment, as far as I'm concerned, that Commissioner Olson was willing to make. We
Well,
notified them of the failure
I believe there was
in the
another-
time specified. We addressed the non-conforming work with them. We did the test. We did everything according to the KDOT list.
Oh, no, and perhaps I misspoke.
Yes, sir.
They responded after they rejected and gave it to the lawyer to probably sue us. And we had a conversation about, you know, you can sue us, it costs everybody money. And so he was going to meet with them again to see if they were willing to moderate their absolute no kind of thing. So I don't want to leave the impression that we're being ignored. The process.
No, I understand.
No, I just wanted you to know that.
I'm just at the.
No, I'm not
Our
fussing
citizens-
with you at all.
Thank you. Our citizens have to drive on these, and they've got to be fixed. And everyone agrees that the product was outside specifications. So. On the agenda, please, and thank you, you wonderful person. All right. My last item that I wanted to bring up, I don't know if Brad's going to address it, so I may just leave it alone for right now. It has to do with a building downtown.
Not after what I heard this weekend yet.
Okay.
I don't want to step on a possibility's toes.
Okay.
So, I mean,
We'll talk. I'll talk to you.
okay. But I did talk to the real estate agent of the company, and he heard my concerns, and especially with the gas leak. He heard how, I guess, he just didn't think it should have been handled the way it should have, that it was, but when it deals with life or death, and maybe they didn't understand how
bad it was?
How close it was to causing some death and some destruction.
A single spark, we'd have lost a block.
And a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people traveling down there.
Oh, yeah.
Firemen.
Yep.
Several city workers. So.
City
and
Hall.
And a city hall. It would have been down.
The library.
Down the
I
corner,
mean-
the library, right, those bricks been bullets flying around.
Yeah.
there. So, yeah, he found out that it was pretty serious. Now, are they gonna do something? I don't know. I think.
It
may
should have
be
been a
time-
wake-up call.
It may be time to, if we don't get a call within the next 2 weeks, next meeting, I think we need to start discussing more.
Sure.
I do believe it's time to get him to start getting involved heavier.
Commissioner Olson?
Just kind of briefly, Alan, you talk about school buses, but just reminder for those that watch, just remind everyone our kids are back in school. They're walking down roads again. When school gets in and out, just keep an eye out for them. Make sure people are aware of that. Keep your eyes open and slow down. Thank you.
Especially in the mornings, the sun's a bear.
Well, when school starts again, people kind of forget their school zones or kids trying to get to school sometimes, but.
Oh, yeah. And the crosswalks.
Yeah.
Commissioner Dancer?
They don't see the big yellow bus.
There's some pretty little kids that walk to school sometimes.
Brad, just a quick follow-up from the, I think it was the Scott Flater's presentation on April 1st. The handouts, the charts, I mentioned them in a previous meeting, and I had a constituent reach out and said, hey, we can't find the charts. Do you know if they're available for the public to see?
I can get you, we can put them
Okay.
online.
Okay. If you could do that, that's all I got. Other than that, I'll follow up with you on many things, hopefully tomorrow. Okay?
If you put out
Commissioners?
those, sorry, sir, if I may, if you're going to put out the old charts, can you see if our guys can put together new charts? So
Oh, that'd be good, too.
Because I know we've done a ton of improvement since then, especially with AMS, and I wouldn't want people to get confused thinking that's the way the lagoon currently is. Please and thank you, sir.
No problem.
No,
Commissioner
good
Southworth.
comment, thank you.
I just thought I wanted to take a moment to recognize, meeting or two ago, there was a lady in here, I apologize, I can't remember her name, concerned about the feral cats. And through that meeting and some more public awareness, I know that there's other organizations, but I want to make sure everyone aware that there was some improvements made, including like a 16-cat colony that was, I never know if it's spayed or neutered, so we'll say fixed.
No, they're not fixing anything, they're breaking something.
Yeah, there you go. They were, since that meeting in the last 2 months, the Paws and Claws organization, as my understanding is they've facilitated and paid for fixing several dozen cats, I think close to 50 in the last amount of time. And I wanted also to kind of put out, there's a little bit of misunderstanding. That organization still is very much active and paying for these things. People think that it's closed, I think because they no longer have a physical building, but there are still volunteers and funds available, and they work on that. But that is a good example of our community recognizing a problem. They came here, they got it out, and it is accelerating. So I would encourage people to make use of that. It just takes somebody taking the time to catch the cat and get it there to get it fixed. But yeah, it's not, so that's all. I just want to make sure people are aware that there was some success there.
Thank you. City Clerk? And you would have thought after I asked last, you'd have something prepared this time. You just want to go home. Okay, I don't have anything other than, still a lot of great events going on in Fort Scott. Brad City Crews did a great job this morning on a water main break over there off First and Hill. That's my neck of the woods. I mean, it looked like a roaring river over there.
It was pretty bad. Well,
This is a good one.
That'll be another intersection we'll have to fix.
Yep. But with that said, Commissioner Olson's point, school's in session. And just because all this is happening doesn't mean that, there's still not room for anybody to get out and get involved in all the great organizations we have in town, be it the Kiwanis or the Good Old Days Committee or, VFW, American Legion, Good Neighbor Action Team. Get involved with it. Have a good time with it, and please continue to support local businesses as well as local activities. And with that, I would say that I move that the City Commission recess into executive session for the purpose of the financial affairs of trade secrets of corporations, partnerships, trusts, and individual proprietorships, exception in KSA 754319B4. In the meeting will be the 5 city commissioners, city attorney, city manager, be in the city manager's office for 10 minutes. We will return back in here at 8:40.
Second.
Catherine Salisbury,
Yes?
Vivian Hookie,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
I move to come out of executive section. Second. With action.
Second.
Matthew Wells,
Yes.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes. I would move that the commission provides the city manager permission to negotiate with the county in good faith the exchanging of the 911 services. And should an agreement not be reached, the city manager has permission by January 1 of 2025 or 2026 to terminate our services provided by the city for 911.
Second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.
Yes.
All right. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Seconded.
I'm sorry, who motioned?
Tracy motion, Dylan second.
Tracy Dancer,
Yes.
Tim Van Hookey.
Yes.
Catherine Salisbury.
Yes.
Dylan Olson.
Yes.
Matthew Wells.